Republican Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. She's a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congresswoman, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. We're about to have a showdown on the debt ceiling, right? What are you expecting?
Yeah, well, hopefully Joe Biden will come to the table and negotiate, because we are having a struggle across the nation when it comes to small businesses, and they drive our economy. I'm a small business owner in upstate New York. We're getting crushed by taxes coming from Albany, but we also have tax uncertainty. We have inflation. We have high fuel prices. We have supply chain disruptions. We have labor shortages. All those are contributing to the economy and the woes of the small business community that drive our economy. And so we need to negotiate something with the Biden administration. They need to come to the table to talk about this long-term spending and what we do to minimize that. And also the debt ceiling could be, we're relying on China still for a lot of our debt. And so my biggest concern as a small business owner is we also have health care costs. We have the huge Obamacare still looming overhead for many small business owners, mandates for any employers over 50 employees, which includes my business and so many others. And those rates continue to rise. And we've got to have a way to find some relief. And I'm looking, as a member of the Ways and Means Committee, we're hoping to make some of the great provisions of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act passed under President Trump, which I proudly voted for, made permanent to help our small business community to thrive, get some tax certainty. And we actually, their very first Ways and Means Committee was a field hearing we did in West Virginia, and we heard directly from small business owners in various sectors. And they explained to us these are their problems, and we need to address them if we're going to grow our economy, because growth is essential at this point.
Of course, and there's no growth plan. Congressman, you mentioned Obama. I want to ask you about Joe Biden's plan to put Susan Rice above all agencies when it comes to equity. We'll talk about who's running the country when we come back. Welcome back, and I am back with New York Republican Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. And Congressman, I want to get your take on Iran. You have been very supportive of the women in Iran amidst all of these protests. You sent a letter to the administration slamming it for failing to comply with a mandated reporting requirement on Iran's military capabilities. Tell us what you want to know.
Well, first of all, the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, requires that the Biden administration disclose to the American people and to the Congress what is happening with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, that's the Iranian military, and what their weapons situation is. Are they continuing to arm Hezbollah, the Houthis, known terrorist organizations? And they failed to report. It's been over 240 days, I believe, since they were supposed to report, and they failed to do that. And that's critical to know what's happening with Iran, the biggest disruptor of peace, potential peace in the Middle East, and the biggest state sponsor of terrorism across the nations in the Middle East. So we're demanding that the Biden administration provide that information, and we just have received no response to date.
Yeah, and it took the administration. I don't even know that they ever came out and supported the women on the ground in Iran and those protesters. The president just gave power to Susan Rice for sweeping racial equity makeover of the federal government. She's pretty much in charge of all of those departments, answering to her on equity. Your reaction?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed to hear this. Obviously, she was someone who is known for the disaster in Benghazi, went on the Sunday talk show series and lied to the American people about some kind of video. She's the one that was involved in the unmasking in the Obama administration of Michael Flynn. She is not a good person to be in this position. It's just more of Obama, and it really raises the question that you pose. Who's running our country? Is it Obama, the third term, or is it really Joe Biden?